And I will miss you so much when you go, James. There was no getting around the fact that your situation had reversed. You were simply You were there simply for a visit. It wasn't your home, and you were going to have to leave tomorrow. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the channel if you're new here. My name is Death by Pony, and today we're finally finishing our life. It is our last video, and if you've been watching since the beginning, thank you for sticking with me for this long. I know this series, I think, is gone on for like a year now, just because it's so long. But thank you for sticking with it and making it to this point. So I won't hold us up any longer. Let's hop in. It came to you. You came to his side, and Baxter began to speak without turning his head. He knew it was you.
You know?
Honestly, I was feeling out of my element, not so surprisingly. Parties might be my forte in general, but my wealth of experience with social gatherings doesn't extend further than being cordial to near strangers. Hanging out in groups of friends, my skills are rusty to say the least. There's nothing wrong with that, Baxter. At least you'll have plenty of chances to get more use of it in the future. That's okay, I feel the same way sometimes too. All the time you need. Yeah, that's not a shock, you chuckled. You nodded understandingly. He'll get plenty of chances in the future. His chin lowered and his shoulders raised. A pleasant little smile grew along Baxter's face. Then he swept an arm through the still warm air of California summer. Well, here we are in the middle of an unassuming neighborhood street I happen to be visiting. For all my intentions of being intriguing, a good amount of the moments we spent together have been similar setting to this, haven't they? We had our first unexpected reunion on your street. Many of our best laid plans were imagined there. It's where I asked you out for the first time. And of course, we parted ways while standing on the road between our two homes at the time. Oh yeah, memories. When you'd first arrived on that street only a week ago to help prepare a wedding, you never could have imagined where it would lead. How you could be there in this exact spot it started and have everything be different now? Baxter continued to gently muse. I suppose that was the part of the issue. I didn't consider myself appealing enough as a person to be worth the time. I wanted the support of an exciting or interesting backdrop for meetups. But it shouldn't matter much where you are if you enjoy who you're with. I could have told you that. I've been trying to tell you that. You don't have to jump through hoops to be good company. Just be yourself. His eyes closed, too bashful to meet your bold-faced affection directly, but Baxter let it wash over him.
Truthfully.
I'm thankful I was wrong about you and mostly myself. The quiet pause forming was completely shot in two mismatching jingles going off. Baxter's phone and yours got notifications at the same time. The group chat? Baxter muttered, lifting one brow. You reached your device to check. It was correct. Randy and Terry Cove started streaming in messages. Each one was identical. An emote of champagne glasses clinking. And then Miranda added a couple more from Jude and Scott, she noted. Cove dropped another on Xavier's behalf too. Then for good measure, Terry started spamming champagne glasses. Baxter snorted. The gang gave digital cheers. If you had to guess, you'd singled out Miranda as the person behind this, not only because she messaged first, but because it was just the kind of small, sweet gesture she'd pull. Randy must have been brainstorming some way to make Baxter's offhanded remark come true since he had made it. And she found a lot of success with the idea. Baxter's still grinning like a schoolboy at his screen.
Bravo.
They certainly do have the spirit of pro event planners, finding possibilities to make celebrations special. Even the circumstances aren't what the guests originally imagined. We have good friends. I bet you'd still enjoy a real drink, you teased. So it would have been nice to have a real drink, you joked. You snickered. The group was never dull. You shrugged. It was out of the box, that's for sure. Then, had your own little glass. You sent cheers. You thanked them for that. You put a thumbs up. Broke the chain with a skull emote. Sent a cheers. It was a party in the chat now. Finally, Baxter put his own champagne emote along with the others to complete the gesture, and even lift his phone like it was a long-stemmed glass. That unnecessary level of class was very him. Nothing more came from the rest of the party, so you shared casual observations while putting your phone away. Usually everyone would tease me more. Baxter listened closely as he placed his own phone into his jacket. What we got what we got when we told them about us wasn't that much. No one joked that we've been out here so long they were worried we snuck out to get married already. They're showing such restraint. I'm pretty sure the gang's going so easy because you're such a skittish guy when it comes to making friends anyway. Baxter smacked the hand over his mouth. He had to reply thought through his fingers in between laughs. That's a fair theory. I haven't been easy to speak with. However, I'm less skittish with people now than I ever imagined I could be. He met your eyes once more, slipping that hand around yours instead. And far, far happier as well. His expression was heart-wrenching, bittersweet. And I will miss you so much when you go, James. There was no getting around the fact that your situation had reversed. You were there simply for a visit. It wasn't your home, and you were going to have to leave tomorrow. It made your chest squeeze to think about it. You would be left here without you. You have to go without him.
Forgive me.
And don't worry. Seeing sadness cloud your face, Baxter immediately offered reassurance. I sincerely swear I will respond to you when you reach out and keep in touch myself. He pulled out his most bold grin ever, if his words still faltered a bit at the end. Every day, multiple times a day, in fact. Well, if that wouldn't be an annoyance. I've no issue dating long distance. The concern was awfully sweet, though you hadn't intended to worry him. I believe you, Baxter. I never doubt that. That would never be annoying. It's okay. Thank you for saying so. Well, I'm gonna message you more. Gently trying to soothe his unease. I never doubted that. Baxter's poise loosened and his expression grew soft. He'd realized his actions weren't the cause for your pain. It remained that. Baxter's first instinct was to see mistakes in everything he did, to assume he didn't know how to make someone happy. But your issue was only in how you couldn't be with him even longer. For that, he had another promise. And he paired it with a truly gentlemanly kiss on the back of the hand he still held. I imagine we won't be apart for terribly
Honestly.
long. You see, I need a break after my last clients, or something of a rush job. The company understands. And I don't know where this concept came from, but recently I've been thinking about taking a little vacation. The spark of hope immediately went off inside your head. It's bright enough to lighten your face. Baxter pounced on the hint of interest, working devilishly. It wouldn't be anything grandiose like a stay in a luxurious mountain lodge or a cross-state road trip, but as we just established, location is secondary to company. And apparently, according to some strange man, going on trips to spend time with a person you love is a good idea. Quite a
I
concept.
hope I'm not being too
Besides-
forward.
Besides, he was thoughtful enough to find me where I was first. Only polite to return the favor. Baxter was going to visit? He didn't live that far, sure, but it still required some planning and genuine effort. You hugged him, you leaned forward and kissed him, you threw your arms around him, smooched your boyfriend. You gave him a friendly hug, you shot 2 thumbs up, you sighed in relief. Tackle! Baxter didn't hesitate to lock himself around you. He caught the kiss as if he'd been waiting for this his whole life. The touch was eager and thrilling and long, yet still somehow too short. But you needed to breathe, unfortunately. I'll look forward to your arrival. You can take your own advice. Incredible. Thank you, Baxter. I'm proud of you. Positive. I'll look forward to your arrival. As will I. Baxter's face was flushed. His voice came out jitterly from both excitement and lingering nerves. He couldn't stand completely still.
Hallelujah.
Admittedly, a part of me was convinced I wouldn't go through with it, but what if you had thought I had lost my mind to follow you right after we barely reestablished a connection? You couldn't imagine that completely. It wasn't a judgment on you. That's not who he was doubting. Looking foolish for admitting that he'd become attached was a long-held fear Baxter had towards himself. To say what he did and not backtrack was like stepping up to the edge of a cliff. He had really grown. But having this last day together, knowing it was the last, was the final push to pursue what I actually wanted. I didn't even need to make you choose for me to win a rock, paper, scissors. I forfeit by default. Baxter jerkily flicked his wrist, adding too much energy for it to be his usual smooth gesture. Honestly, it's a practical plan when you think about it. We have plenty to discuss face to face. It's our entire future to consider after all. I'm glad it's a single trip isn't the end of us, James. Yeah. I still remember when everything in my life seemed it was ending or changing, and you comforted me by saying I could find people who'd be with me always. And that I might have already found some. So far, you've been right, I do. And now I can't say it back to you. Baxter, there are people who want to be close to you no matter how much distance there is, or how much time goes by. I know because I'm one of them. The words struck deep, resounding chord in Baxter's heart. There was no as if this time. A bond like the one you had together truly was what he had longed for his entire life. Baxter's dark eyes grew damp. He wiped it away with a thumb.
It's settled.
It's settled then. With that, he straightened out his jacket and swiped his bangs in vain, attempting to seem more presentable. I suppose we should make another appearance now. I'm not going to be the only person here who wants to see you, and I'll be the one who gets to be with you again. They want to see you too, and they had to wait way longer for that. Baxter gave a light chuckle, fully in control of his emotions again. Or he wasn't exactly controlling them, to become comfortable with what he felt.
Let's return together.
True, we shouldn't keep our friends waiting after how patiently they've been. Let's return together, James. Ah! This man. He reached out for you once more and are ready for the next dance, even before either of you could hear the music again. You accepted it. Seeing him that way, you couldn't help reflecting on how the main man facing you had always been so ready to leave, turn his back to you, be alone for as long as you'd known him. And now every point along the list had changed. A resident of California, a member of the group, a boyfriend for life. That was Baxter Ward. So, even though you were preparing to leave this place when the party ended, you're positive the two of you would end up coming back together again and again. It was simply unavoidable for you and him. First, because of the strings of chance encounters. Second, because of your own efforts. The push and pulls of life were like a dance. Sometimes you were familiar with the steps, and sometimes you had to make them up as you went along. Lucky for you, no matter which tempo, style, or pattern played, you'd have a true partner by your side for the next song. Oh! I finally reached the end! Whoa! You can come back again always. The end. Okay. Now we have to go to the gallery. So, we got everything for Cove, I think. At least I did on my own time. Yeah. Got all of Derek and all of Baxter. I have to say, after playing it for so long, let me click to the right thing. It's a very bittersweet moment for me. Firstly, I've been playing it for so long. Secondly, that's it. They're not releasing more DLC. The next game that they're releasing is the next Our Life, and it's going to take place over autumn instead of summer. It's going to have two main love interests instead of one, and I'm honestly very excited for it. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed this series, because you bet when that next one comes out, we're going to be playing it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, remember to like. That way I know you enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe. That way YouTube brings you back here to see what happens next. I won't take up any more of your time. Have a good day. I'll see y'all next time.